Welcome back, boys and girls, to another exciting episode of Full Circle. This is episode 26. For anyone who's joining us from episodes 1 through 25, our first quarter, thank you. For anyone just joining us now, welcome. We talk about all things in the geekdom. We have fun, we argue, we spit, we spat, we give very in-depth analysis of things. I took a while because it was so in-depth.
It was that deep of a topic.
But it's fun for everybody regardless of your geek level or even if you're not a geek at all. And I'm your host, Harmon Jr. You can find me at Harmon Jr. on all your favorite social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, what have you.
And I'm the other host, Fradette. You can find me at Toonvelo. We have another great episode for you this week. We will be talking about the horrible breakup between Funimation and Crunchyroll. How do you consume anime now?
It might get messy. We will also be talking about the premiere of Doctor Who. We have a new doctor, and if you couldn't tell by this scarf, it is indeed fall. And, that also means the premiere of a new doctor, a new season of Doctor Who. And we got thoughts about that.
But first and foremost, we're coming back full circle from a different episode we had. Guns, Roses, and Rumors. Get it? Sweet child of Guns and Roses. James Gunn. Disney fired him. DC is hiring him.
Yes, for those who don't know, if you want more, just, full circle back to episode 14. That's where we talked about Guns, Roses, and Rumors. And you can hear about that. But, as Jared said, Disney unfortunately fired James Gunn. DC picked him up, which honestly they probably really needed someone who knew what the heck to do with superhero movies.
Right.
And he is now going to direct and write, if I believe, Suicide Squad 2, which is great because Suicide Squad 1 was garbage.
Right. Not only does DC desperately need someone of his caliber, Suicide Squad particularly needed someone of his caliber because I'm going to be honest, I don't think Suicide Squad 2 would have made it out the gates at all if it did not have his strength behind it.
Yeah, I'm honestly will be okay if Suicide Squad 2 has completely new actors. None of them are the same.
Yeah. Nothing
that happened in 1 even reflects 2. Like, if they just call it, like, Suicide Squads, just
redo it.
Napalm bomb everything.
Suicide Squad Take 2?
Oh.
Right?
Can we copyright that?
Copyright.
You know what, DC? You can use Suicide Squad Take 2.
We'll give it to you.
But I want, like, premiere access, an interview of at least 3-4 people on Full Circle.
Interview of Dave Bautista.
Oh, yes. Dave Bautista. For those who don't know, he is more commonly known as Drax
the Destroyer.
Yes. From
the WWE.
Yes.
That's his name in World Wrestling?
Yes.
Oh,
actually, it's Rey Mysterio. Like, no, when I was looking up his name, there was apparently a theory that he is indeed Rey Mysterio.
Oh.
I don't know if he is. He could be, for all I know. But the internet said it, people, so it must be true.
Right.
When I typed in his name, it said Dave. How do you pronounce his last name again?
Bautista?
Dave Bautista. Ever saying that wrong, I'm sorry, don't hurt us.
Sorry.
Dave Bautista, it was like Rey Mysterio ? And then in the most common and like related searches, it was like him and then Rey Mysterio. And I was like...
It's like the Professor and the Masked Battle Royale, the Masked Royale.
Yeah. So it could be... Anyway, before we get too sidetracked with that, we'll venture down on another episode about is he really Rey Mysterio? Yes, he has left Disney or is leaving. I don't know if it's official yet.
Right, so he'd always threatened that if Disney did not hire him back, James Gunn back, that he would just quit. And now that he's on with DC... there are strong rumors that he's going to just join that instead.
Yeah, he said he's going to work on Suicide Squad with James Gunn with DC. I mean, but he's just said, I don't know what the legality of that is.
So you know what? So big spoiler alert for all you Avengers fan. We know who dies who permanently dies now.
Oh.
Yeah. Drax. Just, there we go.
He's such a good comic relief character that, like, I don't think the Guardians could survive without him, honestly.
I mean, that it pulls the whole Guardians 3 into questions, period. James Gunn being fired.
I will say this, Guardians 2 sucked. Okay. It wasn't as good as 1. It was considerably not as good as 1. So I feel like if 3 is already on this path to destruction, just go ahead and nix it.
Just lay it out to pasture. It's already right. You're entering phase 2 of the Marvel universe. Just let this one be.
Yeah.
I won't say
I'll take a Rocket Raccoon movie. I think Bradley Cooper's Rocket Raccoon is amazing.
That would be great. I don't know if it so much sucked as it was pretty much on par with 1, which for a sequel, you can never have it be just the same thing. You can't just have it be more of it. It was like Kingsman 2. I'm like, yeah, more 360 fight scene. I know, it just wasn't as impressive the second time.
And I'll say the humor in 1 was, okay, Guardians of the Galaxy in Infinity War was better than Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
This is fair. This is incredibly true. Yeah.
If you took their scenes from Infinity War, and cut out all
put them together, there we go.
That was a better movie.
I mean, yes. So I guess maybe the Russo brothers are just writing the next Spacefaring adventure.
Maybe.
But speaking of Spacefaring,
it was written on the wall. That was just, you knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. We just had to enjoy that movement together.
Doctor Who. Yeah, so the new season has premiered with the 13th Doctor and her new companions, Yasmin, Ryan, Graham, new TARDIS, new director, Chris Chernobyl, I can't pronounce it.
Chernobyl Diaries?
Yeah. Basically everybody new music directors. If you've never watched Doctor Who before, this is the time to start. Because
new Doctor.
Everything is new, right? New Doctor. And so I am a diehard long fan. However, Dr. Odell.
Dr. Dell, sir.
Dr. Dell. Odell has never seen it. So
yes, I am not a Whovian like my cohort here. I've never watched it. I mean, I've seen clips and it was just like, British show. British show that's a cult classic. British show that's a cult classic that people now pretend to like. These were just a whole bunch of things. Not a slight against the show, but it was becoming a community of things that I don't like. I don't like cult classics. I'm not a fan of British shows. I'm not a fan of fake nerds liking stuff because it's cool to like. And so it was wrapped in a nice package of, I do not want to partake in this. No, again, not a slight on the show, but as someone who's like late to the game and, you're on like the 10th, 11th, 12th Doctor and all this stuff is happening, all this terminology, I'm just like, I'm going to give this one a good old pass. But I promised someone, what's her name? Jodie Whittaker was breaking the glass ceiling, which I respect. And, it's a new season. And with all the new, I was like, all right, this is going to be my time. I'm going to start and I'm going to see what all the hubbub's about. And spoiler alert, I thought it was decent. And I said it because I only seen one episode. I have to watch more. But consider how I went from nothing to like damn near well over an hour of who-ness. I can drink the soup, I think. I think I can partake in this.
It's fun. So what were some of your first impressions?
All right, so first impressions. Granted, I have not seen any of the other Doctors' performances.
That's fine.
But Jodie did an amazing job. I thought she was cool and quirky. Like, I know, like, the quirkiness, I felt it. And, I felt the quirkiness. I felt like the habits. None of them felt too tedious, like the whole fumbling in the pockets, because the 10th Doctor, is that the cool one that everyone likes with the chucks and the...
Yeah.
I've seen his performance, and he feels like...
He was the cool boy.
Like, his fits were like... He was too... spastic, I guess.
I would argue the 11th Doctor is much more spastic.
Okay, well that's bad if that's the case.
Yes.
Well, per my spastic meter, she was like a good look ding. Can we get a ding? Ding. Yeah, there we go. She was good right there. Story wise, the story was cool. It didn't go the way I thought it was. I was all like and then like okay, the villain was cool. It didn't overstay its welcome. I will say one of the grandmother of one of the new companions. Her name was Joyce, I believe.
Joyce.
It was either Joy or Joyce.
So spoiler alert.
Okay, we're like 4 weeks from the premiere at this point when it's airing. So she died, and it was for character development of one of the companions to give him that push. But her death was very poorly done, in my opinion. It was kind of like she didn't need to die. She didn't need to be the hero. Like, the damage she sustained from her injury didn't feel like death worthy. She felt like, what, maybe like 2 stories worth?
But she's old, Odell.
I mean, she
osteoporosis.
She didn't have osteoporosis.
You don't have her medical file.
Oh,
Are you a doctor? No, I completely agree with you. Like, she was safe, she was fine, and arbitrarily she goes, hey, I'm going to run into danger. And then I'm like, oh no. And then she runs into danger, and then she dies. I'm like, oh, okay.
And compared to the other deaths, because, like, other people died in the episode, they were, like, horribly murdered and mangled and
but this was
frozen to death. And hers was like, I fell. And then, like, it was just like, I hope y'all can live without me. I die now. It was like, can you tell you sustained that much damage from a fall to be like, and I die? Like, I really felt like a 911 call could have
helped come in handy there.
I don't know what the doctor can and can't do, but I felt whatever injury she sustained, the doctor could have did something there. Correct or no?
No, basically no.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So she could do a whole bunch of cool stuff, but helping like a 6-year-old woman, survive a fall. Right. Okay, when I say fall, I don't mean like
not down the stairs and like life alert, like off of a crane, off of a construction crane.
Okay, but again, she was like 2 stories high.
No, yeah, I agree with you. It very much. It shouldn't be a spoiler because you've only seen the 3 companions with her the entire time, and you're introduced to these 4 main people at the beginning, and you're like, oh, okay. She's either something's going to happen to her, or they're all going to arbitrarily ditch her for some reason, which, as a grandmother and a wife, wasn't going to happen. So, yeah, she serves one function and one function only, to get her grandson
to advance the plot.
That's basically it. Which was pretty much. So I had 2 disappointments in the introduction here. One was her character in death. I would have rather them handle it differently and find a reason for her to not
again.
come.
This is the thing that bothered me. You have a giant electrical bioweapon, and you have a monster villain capable of like insta freezing people to death. I'm not saying I get it. You don't want it to be like maybe too horrible, but you have two killing machines essentially.
Something that could have been
let them kill.
Well, in a way,
also they had the thing of the bomb. They each had like a DNA bomb in them. I mean,
okay, so I'll go against my own opinion here for a second and say, in a weird way, it was nice that she died in such a humanly fashion, because for the past 8-ish years of Stephen Moffat, everything has been a spectacular, over the top, impossible, undone, redone, contract paradoxical finale, and it's just like it didn't used to be like that. So for someone to just die a normal way to die felt nice and refreshing.
All right.
And that was
I can respect that,
right? And that's what I've liked about the 2 episodes we've seen thus far, is it feels a lot more organic. We've seen like cinematography, everything is more dramatic and shot kind of more personally. It's not just zany and what was the word you were saying earlier? Spastic. We see the Doctor has actually taken a step back from the center of the I know it's called Doctor Who and she's the main character, but it used to be about being curious and solving mysteries.
I will say that I don't know enough about Doctor Who, but I did enjoy that aspect because it was very, she was very detective-y, but in a zany way, but in a controlled zany way. Like, the point is, I'm trying to say, compared from the stuff I've seen about Doctor, I like this Doctor because I guess you're just saying, based on what you're saying, I'm like, oh, okay, this makes sense. She's not doing a whole bunch of that, which was honestly a turn off from the show for me, from when I was trying to see what the hubbub was about.
Yeah, because Stephen Moffat, I've probably mentioned this several times on the show already.
Jared does not like Stephen Moffat.
He is the biggest fanboy of his own works. And that just is a recipe for disaster.
Oh, what was your second biggest disappointment? You said there was 2.
So the second biggest disappointment isn't actually within the show itself, but watching it on BBC America, the commercials. And I get you have to fill up the hour of time, and ad revenue, but they were so poorly timed, and they broke things up really badly. So we see Joyce's death, and it goes to commercial. Okay, that kind of makes sense. We come back to bicycle riding. Okay, about 30 seconds of bicycle riding. Another 5 minutes of commercial. Okay, the funeral. Okay, I guess we're getting back here. You need to move on. 5 more minutes of commercial. I'm like, I'm just lingering in this weird, like, again, pointless death.
How do we advance the plot?
Not
with commercials.
Not with commercials, yeah. So the main reason she was there to advance the plot is now undone with commercial stalling.
All right, so, Mr. Hoovian.
Yes.
I was talking about this with you off camera earlier.
Yes.
But because the fall was so unspectacular, people, I promise you this fall was not death-worthy in my mind. I was just like, can't she just fix her? I was under the impression that the Doctor has magical superhuman abilities. As in, like, superpowers. Not like, I'm just smart and know a lot of stuff. But then apparently, watching the episode, I was waiting for her to be like, super speed. I mean, she did like jump like a good 30 feet.
She jumped a crane, which was still pretty impressive.
Yeah, so I mean that, but I kept being disappointed. I thought she was gonna be like, oh, I'm a combat specialist. Oh, I have a magic screwdriver that seems to just give me information and not do anything magical. And so the whole time I was waiting for it to be like, Zaza. Right. And I never got that. And it was funny because like, this was the best part about being new to it.
Uh-huh.
All the companions don't know who she is and stuff. So all their questions, I was also like, why can't you magical alien ability this situation?
Right? You fell from the sky. Why can't you just do things?
And it was funny because then I was just like, oh, she's waiting for her to get her powers back. Or, her just her memories, really. And then it was just like, oh, so you don't actually... Your power seems to be more in technology than... your actual self. Okay.
Pretty much.
I thought the Doctor had magical powers.
So, dispel that myth right now. As you're asking me these questions, I have like 1,000 answers actually buzzing my head. Okay, just what are some questions you have right now that we can maybe... that were not answered that I can try and like answer succinctly?
All right. So, she can't run fast and she can't fight, but she jumped that crane. So, physically... how much stronger than a base human is the Doctor?
So all Time Lords and all Gallifreyans have 2 hearts, which gives them advanced respiratory and cardiac abilities.
Oh yeah, Joyce was a nurse and she was like she had 2 heartbeats. I was wondering what the importance of that was.
And that's what that was, yeah.
Okay, so kind of like Luffy from One Piece, it's just because since his lungs and heart and things like that, he can just push himself further because his body's able to deal with the stress where a regular person would like kill over and possibly die.
They also have other sort of latent abilities, or they're able to resist like
the
darkness and like vacuum of space for a bit. They're able.
So she can't breathe in space. She can just kind of exist for a bit.
For a little bit longer than humans could. They can process poisons pretty well. They obviously have the ability to regenerate and escape death, which is pretty much the whole premise of Time Lords.
Okay.
Other questions.
I mean, she doesn't have magical powers. So
she doesn't have magical. So actually, okay. So I would.
Oh, wait, what can the sonic screwdriver actually do?
So a long time ago, when we were introduced to the sonic screwdriver via the 4th Doctor, Scarf, it literally just pretty much activated as a screwdriver that you could use at a distance. As we went along, it kind of just started being a multi-tool for any sort of technology. So, like, if you want to weld bits of things together, you want to, like, quickly, like, access and hack through and scroll through a database, you can do these sorts of things. It is not a weapon. It can't fire things, and it cannot operate on anything that's wooden. That's a hilarious and often repeated motif.
So it is a super advanced alien technology.
Technological.
It is an advanced science tool that can interact with other technology.
Yes, that's actually a great... Oh my god, you hit the nail on the head, and I should have thought of that first. In The Day of the Doctor, when we meet the Intermediate War Doctor, a younger version of the Doctor scolds 2 older versions. What are you doing with that? This is a scientific instrument, and you're waving it around like some sort of, like, weapon. So, yes, that is a much more succinct answer. It is a scientific tool.
Look at me, and I only watched 1 episode, people. What's up? My understanding's on a different level.
Yes.
Let me see. Another question. All right, the sonic screwdriver.
While you're thinking about that, I'll go and kind of retrace my steps. it was possible, maybe, for the Doctor to have done something while there's an incubation period while the Doctor was still cooking. You know, she said that a few times, like she's not quite done. There's some loose and radiant regeneration energy that she could expel. So possibly, had she been right there when Joyce fell, she could have shared this energy to heal her. It might have been a bad idea. It might have had some bad effects, as we saw to fans of the show, Dr. Donna. So just if someone's going to try and pick apart my arguments, she might have been able to do something for Joyce.
One final question.
Okay.
So when they had the DNA bombs in their skin, for those who don't know, a big plot point was DNA bombs. It's just a bomb in your body. That's really all you need to know.
Bomb just for you.
And she shocked herself. How much damage can she take? Because she like shocked herself and shot across the room and was just fine. She's physically durable. How durable?
We've never been given a direct number or wattage, but frequently the Doctor will electrocute themselves, repairing things. So I'll just say a lot.
So shock resistance, cool, but blunt force resistance, not so much.
Yeah, no.
Okay. She can't take a bomb and be like, I took a grenade. I can't take another one, but I can do one.
No. I mean, even just a good frying pan to the head, she'd be unconscious.
Oh, okay. I want that to happen now.
Just
a good old fashioned cartoon. Boom.
Bang.
The Doctor's out until the 45-minute mark.
But speaking of cartoons, anime,
which is not a cartoon. We already discussed this, but they're similar. We can admit that.
Right. Funimation and Crunchyroll are parting ways.
Boom, boom, boom. So Funimation is parting ways from Crunchyroll and VRV, which...
What's VRV?
It doesn't matter.
I actually didn't know until yesterday.
That's where Penitent War has his new show.
That I actually didn't know till just now. Yeah, it's just now years old.
Yeah, it's the one that looks pretty much like Adventure Time.
Oh, I mean, it's his art style.
Yeah, have you seen they're in space? They're that's exclusively on VRV.
I was waiting for that to just appear.
Yeah, VRV, they show a lot of... Think of it like the cartoon dump for shows that didn't make it on Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon, while also showing shows that came on Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon.
Okay, it seems mildly interesting.
Yeah,
but
VRV honestly is a place where Saturday morning cartoons went when Saturday morning cartoons died.
Aww.
But that's not important. We will discuss VRV on another episode. We'll go full circle, and I don't know what is VRV. You better give us a free subscription. But
I want a free subscription to Funimation Now.
Yes. So if you don't know, Funimation has its own streaming service. It's called Funimation Now, which is like Crunchyroll, except with none of the dubs with none of the subs and all of the dubs. Because Funimation is the Americas, or at least the United States. I think Canada too, but that's United States. Mm-hmm. When we watch, anime in English, it 99.9% of the time comes through Funimation. There's someone else that isn't Funimation, but
Aniplex.
Yeah. So they handle the vast majority of dubs for the country, United States. If you're not watching the United States, thank you for watching. And they hold a lot of licenses to the big animes, i.e. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball in general.
One Piece, My Hero Academia, Black Clover, Black Butler.
Pretty much, if it's in the top 10 market, they probably own the streaming rights in America.
Yeah. And so, with this departure, is Crunchyroll just going to be devoid of everything?
I don't know. So here's a fun fact. I got a subscription to Funimation Now.
Okay.
And it sucked, which is why it did not work well on the PlayStation. Mm-hmm. And apparently these were... I Googled it, but... yeah, they're bought by Sony.
They're both Sony!
So if you didn't know, Funimation was bought by Sony. So, yeah, it did not stream well. It was actually a common problem, because once I told them the stream sucked on the PlayStation, they were like...
Yeah,
would you like more? And I looked it up. That's a common problem.
Would you like more? Sorry, you found a fly in your soup. Would you like more soup? No.
See, if you're not streaming on the PC, like you're streaming on a console, or most people stream on devices that's already plugged into their TV.
Yeah.
Their app's not the best,
Ugh.
and not the best. I mean, quality playback. It's just all. So, but the only reason I did that because My Hero Academia was only exclusively on Funimation because they own the rights. So I had to go and watch the first season on that app, which I got the free subscription because everyone was talking about it. So I watched that and then started reading the manga. And about time it actually went to Crunchyroll. And guess what happened when it went to Crunchyroll? Well, wouldn't you believe it? People started watching it.
Wacky.
I know, right?
Well, you know what this is? Okay, this all kind of makes it. So they're not just arbitrarily hard cutting the cord with Crunchyroll because they're mean and cynical. The contract is actually up.
And Sony doesn't wish to renew it.
Right. And this kind of makes sense. It kind of feels like a power play by Sony, right? After manhandling and strangling Venom through the box office, they clearly are not ready to give up any Marvel rights. And it looks like I feel like they're trying to compete with Disney on some level. Like, they're keeping Venom, they're keeping Fantastic Four. We're going to start producing our own anime. We don't want other people. They're trying to be that force.
But I feel like they should have acquired Crunchyroll.
That would have been the smart move.
Yeah. Because Funimation's got to play catch up, and you're going to have to be just as good, if not better, which Funimation hasn't been, which was part of the partnership in the first place. You give us the stuff that you're good at, like the subs, which that's what people want. I do enjoy dubs. Sometimes, like you said, I just don't want to read. But I don't want to wait 2 months for an episode that already came out subbed.
Right? Already seeing spoilers on Tumblr from people from Japan posting it. I'm like, wait a second. Luffy's new form is what?
Yeah, and okay, everyone's biggest question is, will we lose things like My Hero? Which, honestly, I could see that happening because it wasn't on there originally, but will they take it a step further? Will we lose One Piece? Will we lose Black Clover? Will we lose Boruto? Said no one ever.
Boruto's already lost me.
But yeah,
these things are still up for negotiation.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be angry consumer if I lose half my shows on Crunchyroll because of this debacle. Because Crunchyroll is $6 a month, people. $6 a month, and you know what else it lets me do? Share my information with everyone. It doesn't charge me. You just can't watch at the same time. But I don't have Crunchyroll plays well. It literally it aired in Japan. 6-8 hours later, it's on my streaming.
Speaking of sharing, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I am one of those people.
You know what's cool about Crunchyroll? Hey, this new show sells at work that just started in Japan. Guess where it's at? Crunchyroll.
Right.
Granted, I don't think a show like that would be affected by this deal. But my point is, Crunchyroll is amazing. And as much as I do watch anime, I do watch the popular mainstream ones. I do.
I mean, like they're generally popular for a reason.
Yeah.
They're good.
So to just, I mean, of course, this is all speculation, but if it gets as messy as it really is, remember when Trump got elected and we all knew how messy it could get, but we didn't think it would get that messy? Not getting political on the show, but I'm just saying. So I'm being optimistic that Sony will do the right thing, but they literally do not have to. And I don't want to pay. One, I don't want to pay for 2 subscriptions. 2, Funimation already lost some money a long time ago.
Well, okay, the bright side is Crunchyroll, you can watch for free. Crunchyroll, I mean, there are ads, but you can watch for free.
And, you have to wait a week later for the newer episodes.
Which feels like a small price to pay, kind of. I mean, again, compared to Funimation now, that's like, nope, have to pay. The end. And you're like, well, it's like...
Sony has money, so if Sony gives them the backing, the money, and creates a wonderful service, then so be it. I guess I won't part ways with Crunchyroll because they've been good to me. Mm-hmm. I really don't want to have to be forced in this, but we will see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
So, we're all waiting in the wings for that. See how messy or cordial that breakup has been. We were really, really excited. I'm excited for Odell. I'm excited.
I will keep watching people. We'll revisit this after,
I showed him the ending of episode 2 where the new TARDIS is revealed, and it's such a... Okay, for new who... It's a little lost in Odell, and he admitted this, but it's so sweet. Like, they're you don't understand Odell. They're basically a couple, and it's just they are reuniting after a literal...
The TARDIS and the Doctor.
The TARDIS and the Doctor after her literal explosive regeneration. So it's just like, she's like, I'm so sorry, but you came back for me, and I'm sorry. But it was so sweet because, like, okay, the Doctor and the TARDIS are basically like a couple, and they have a long history. And, they left on her literal explosive regeneration, and they were hurt. And it's like, I accept you again. And it was nice.
Right. I don't personally feel those emotions, but you made me feel those emotions. You made everybody out there feel those emotions. So that was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that moment with us.
Yes.
Hopefully what will be just as sweet is the explosive parting of Crunchyroll and Funimation. Mm-hmm. I don't know how that's going to go. Hopefully, like you said, they'll be civil.
They're civil so far.
They're civil so
it's
far.
Good. I think it's going to come down to what they keep and how nice or not the fans are. Yeah. As we see with certain Szechuan sauces, they're not always nice.
That's nice. I mean, not to get political, but, sometimes people have certain powers. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying who. And we think it wasn't everyone's first pick, but maybe it'll go over smoothly. And it won't. How bad can it get? It can get pretty bad.
It can get pretty bad.
We lose 50% of Crunchyroll, and, Donald Trump nukes us all. So, I mean...
The two worst options for humanity.
Yeah, pretty much.
But a probably good choice for DC is welcoming on James Gunn. Again, his things aside, he'll probably make a much better Suicide Squad than they could ever have made.
Yeah, I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy is pretty much Suicide Squad.
Yeah, just
anti-heroes that are heroes.
But not.
Yeah. I would say, well, is Suicide Squad anti-heroes? Because they're just straight villains.
Anti-villains? They're mercenaries for hires?
Isn't that just a hero?
No. An anti-villain is like... I don't have a good example off the top of my head. Anti-villains are villains...
Well, I guess anti-hero isn't a villain,
anti-villain would be I think Asmodeus from Watchmen. He was... I'm going to blow up the world for your own health. It just... That's what... he has a good cause, but it's just completely villainous.
So what's the difference between an anti-hero and an anti-villain?
Hero is Yugimoto, anti-hero is Seto Kaiba. Seto Kaiba's like... You know what? We're gonna this will be a topic.
This will be a topic. My brain is spinning.
Yes.
But, Joe, so... God dang. Give me a second.
Okay. So, while you're giving a second, I'll go and remind everybody about our Nintendo SNES Classic giveaway. It's only available for those who follow us on Twitter. For the first 1,000 followers, you'll comment on a thread, and we will give this away to one of you.
Yes, and we will have prizes and giveaways at $250, $500, and $750 for you smart people out there. That's every quarter until we get to 1,000. So follow us on Twitter to win, and follow us on Instagram at FC Podcast 23. That's on Twitter and Instagram for clues, hints, and what things may be. Here's a little lucky a lucky insight for you. The $250 will be a giant swag bag of things from cons, including cons like Gamescom. So, I mean, these are some actual goodies, people, not just trinkets from the dollar store.
Right?
We could. And if you don't win, if you don't follow, you can't win. But you don't win if you don't follow. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
And, honestly, we only got about 75 followers, so we need y'all to start chopping it up, because guess what? If we don't ever get it, we'll just keep it.
No sweat off our backs.
Yeah, just
no SNES off our table.
Nah. As a matter of fact, we'll just keep adding more awesome things that y'all aren't winning to the table. I'll be like, this signed copy of Final Fantasy Unopened, signed by director's name who I don't know, just right there.
Right there.
Just all the time.
Yep. But names you do know, I am Jared Fradette. You can find me at ToonVelo at all of social media.
Did you say ToonVelo?
I said ToonVelo.
You said Jared Fradette.
Yeah, I am Jared Fradette. You can find me at ToonVelo.
Oh, well, I am Odell Harmon. You can find me at Odell Harmon Jr. on all social media, all that good stuff, Facebook, Twitter. As always, thank you so much for joining us. This is Full Circle. Odell and Jared signing out. Everyone have a great week.